Welcome to the Wally Report. Man, that bass seems to be hitting a little bit more than usual. So listen, the princes of entertainment have returned once again to run amok in the kingdom. We had a crazy month, so get ready for a wild show today, baby. This is your magical host, Ari Weiss. And of course, I'm joined by the wild horse's favorite, Bronco, Benjamin Shea Maurer. Bronco, how you doing today, buddy?
What's up, y'all? I'm so good. I'm happy to be back. I look forward to this. Let's go.
So we're men of action today. We're not going to dilly-dally with long intros. We're going to jump straight into hot topics, baby. I'll start in ceremonial fashion. It's so funny how this show, besides, of course, my MMA show, is very rarely about sports, except for my sport docs that I always seem to have on the countdown. But yet my hot topics always seem to be sport related. Actually, hold on. Before we go, because I don't think you've seen my posters. I think I need more. The background still looks a little sparse to me. But do you see my two posters now that I have?
Yeah.
One, of course, is a 1980s Magic Johnson, right, as one side. And the other one is Van Damme in Bloodsport.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if you're a clean Van Damme Seagal era guy, but those are clean posters. Anyway,
Seagal is not clean. Van Damme is clean.
Seagal. I mean, Van Damme's much more just because he had the physique,
the muscles from Brussels, baby.
I mean, Seagal did too, but it was always like, you know, like these Aikido and a lot of gun fighting and stuff like that. He wasn't as clean, but there was a time where both were just. Okay. Anyway, we'll come back. You don't agree? You think Seagal is shame?
Seagal is whack. Seagal is so whack. There's so many great action stars from the 80s, dude, that Seagal cannot make that list. He's not on the top 5 of 80s action stars. No way.
Well, okay, but that's unfair because you got Arnold and Stallone and all those guys, but he's definitely on a top 10. He's definitely on a top 10 for me. He's on a top 10
That's another
list.
episode. That's another
that's another episode. Okay, so anyway, this is what we do. We go on our tangents, baby. But anyway, it seems to be that my hot topics are always sport related, even though that's not usually the focus of our show, which is funny. But my hot topic is Metropolitan baseball, baby. Let's go. So I don't know if you're a baseball sleaze, but I've already moved on from shameful basketball and shameful hockey, and now it's all about baseball season because you know Wally does all the sports. Now, we talked about before the big Juan Soto deal. We finally outbid the Yankees. And it's not even Soto doing it for us, but the Mets, I sort of jinxed us and we lost the last 2 games, but we're still right there neck and neck in first place in the National League. We've been killing it, baby. We re-signed Alonso. We got Soto. We got Lindor. Pitching's been holding up. This is clean. We now have a shot at least to like make the playoffs and go far. So I'm super jazzed up. I at least actually can watch the fucking games. Because even last year when we went on that monumental run, we still had like a horrible season all year and just kept close and then went on that big run to the end. So half the season was miserable. At least this season now is just from the beginning. I hope we don't start blowing it. The only thing with baseball, though, is even when you're a top team, you're going to lose a lot of lousy, annoying games to like shitty teams. And it just fucks me up throughout the year. But either way, Queens is hopping. Wally's pumped. Metropolitan baseball. That's it. A nice, short, sweet one. Do you even care about the baseballs, as Borat would say?
I love going to Dodger games. You know, growing up in Salt Lake City, we had a minor league team, the Buzz, which then got changed to the Bees. And now I think it's changed again. But minor league was so fun. The stadium was so beautiful. It had like this amazing view of the Wasatch Mountains. Incredible. Man, it was so beautiful. So I didn't have a big league team. Moving to LA, I love watching Dodger games. But my hot topic of this episode is Luka and the Lakers, baby, out in the first round. Oh my goodness.
Sleaze, dude.
Oh my goodness. You were so pumped.
That's shame, bro.
No, it's not. And to see it against Rudy Gobert as a Jazz fan, Luka has tormented him his entire career. So to see Gobert put up those numbers against Luka and close them out, that was so great. And the Utah Jazz have a top 5 guaranteed draft pick this year. I'm pumped, dude. I'm ready to go. Lakers went out in the first round. Second year in a row. Yes.
That's so slooge, dude. I mean, luckily, like, here's the thing. If it was years ago, I would have been so pissed and heated that you would even bring it up. But now I have the ability to just completely walk away. I'm still pissed. I'm more just shocked and just saddened that. But you know what? Let's be done with the LeBron era. I'm done with it. Just move on. All we do was lose. I'm fucking so sick of it. And all you like bums think like, oh, LeBron's better than Jordan. I'm like, yeah, there's something called winning. We won one fucking finals, and all you do is get knocked out. Even when it's just like last 2 years in a row, knocked out in the first round. I'm over it. Move on, Luka. Somebody else. Get Giannis. I don't want to see LeBron again in a Lakers uniform. I'm done with it.
Oh,
he takes horrible. He jacks
quintessential LA fan right here. Quintessential.
I'm just saying,
LA
bro.
fan.
Like, I mean, it's just like I'm over it. It's like we're gonna keep just losing every year, and just like, and then putting the same team out and just thinking like, oh, we're gonna win this year with LeBron and somebody's fucking 40, bro. I'm like, I'm sick of it. Anyway,
and this is about TV and movies, so let's move on. I just had to rub that in just a little bit.
Yeah, because you got me on the tangents here. So yeah, I was all happy talking about Metropolitan baseball, and then you screwed me. Okay. So anyway, before we get into the hot stuff that the real Wally Report TV and film people want to hear, they don't want to hear about our sports arguments. Let's take a quick break from our sponsors. Okay, baby, and we're back. Listen, I tried to keep the industry news a little bit lighter because we went hard last time, but I still got some good ones. We got 3 or 4, maybe even 5. We got to touch base on briefly, and then we'll get into the top 5, okay? So this one I'm really torn on, and you don't even watch the show yet, which is shameful, but I am going to probably try to get you into it. So Last of Us, which, as we've been talking about, season 2 just came out, okay? And they already renewed it for a season 3. Normally that never happens. It's usually they wait till it's like done and then you get the work. So, but because I think there was so much clamoring and so much excitement from that first season that they renewed it for a 3rd season. Normally I'd be pumped on this, but all I gotta say is, and I'm not gonna do any spoilers, they just fucked us so royally in episode 2 of season 2. It's basically a Game of Thrones situation. That's all I'm gonna say. And then I went online. I was furious. I couldn't take it, and I went online and I read that what they did in the show was true to the video game, because you know this is from a fucking video game. And I'm like, what do you mean true to? But I'm like, what do you mean true to a fucking video game? You play a video game. It's not like a fucking book. So I'm so pissed they did a Game of Thrones because of a fucking video game. And like normally if I'm a book purist, like with Thrones, I'm like, yes, keep it perfect, true. But I don't care about keeping it true to a fucking video game. So they screwed us. They screwed all the fans. You're going to see if it's still on my top 5. It's still an amazing show, so I should be happy. But with a big asterisk is that they screwed us over big time, and I'm devastated. But how do you feel about this news? You don't watch it yet, so you're not jacked up on a season 2 or 3, correct?
No, I'm not. But my question was, how original to the story is it? Because it's an adapted show, so you have to, in order to keep the fans, you have to maintain a certain level of truth to the original narrative, right? So if they're true to the video game, then it's just.
Yeah, but okay, I just don't get the video game, because it's like, bro, you play it, you go through levels, and you die each time. Each version of the game that came out, maybe new things happen with the characters, but I'm like, what do you even mean, bro? I mean, I guess I don't understand how modern video games works, because I'm still a Mario Kart 64 guy, you know?
Nice.
So I'm like, so I'm pissed, but it's still good news because it's still a great show. You'll see where it lies. Okay.
All right.
Topic number 2. This will be interesting because there's multiple reasons why I wanted to bring this up with you, because some we're going to, there'll be some things that we can dissect here. Okay. A new show starring Owen Wilson, a new golf show, is coming out in June on Apple TV Plus called Stick. okay, where he's a washed up golfer and now he's trying to mentor a young star. Right there, I'm in. I'm like, okay, this is clean. I like Owen. You always love that, when you're the kind of the old washed up guy and they're mentoring the new young phenom. However, it is a comedy, so I'm cautiously optimistic. And then this goes into, I'm going to get your feelings in a second if you're just excited by just this setup, right? But what I'm also going to throw at you is that if they blow this, I'm coming for you, because this is a perfect setup to be a amazing new comedy, but it could be ruined by this bullshit contemporary garbage comedy writing of today. And so I'm very cautiously optimistic, because this is normally something great that I already feel like they are going to ruin, because no one knows how to write anything funny anymore, and they make it for stone 13-year-olds that are idiots. Okay, what
are
do
you
you think
talking
here?
about, dude? I think you just don't have. You're not listening to the right comedy. Like look up. Anthony Jeselnik just did an interview a couple months ago where he said, if you're struggling to make people laugh, it's because you're not funny. If
Okay.
it has nothing to do with the era that we're in, funny is funny. That dude tells some of the craziest jokes ever, and you can't help but laugh. If it's funny, it's fair. That's all I'll say. I think
Yeah, I know,
Owen
but
Wilson is awesome. He plays this character so well. We saw it in Wedding Crashers. You see it in, Zoolander, Tenenbaums. Like, he's just this sort of like, he has this malaise that is so fun to watch. He's such a star. I'm so happy he's back on the scene in these huge roles. We missed him.
Yeah, but you're missing my point, though, because I'm just saying, my criticisms of the writing in current day. It's not that I just don't think it's as smart right now. I think they're just kind of writing BS. Maybe I'm getting too old. Maybe I'm old and I just don't think like the comedy writing is as funny. Something's going on. Anyway.
Well, we could get into the dynamics of the corporate ownership of media if you want to talk about who's ultimately responsible for making these decisions, but that's a whole other thing. But
yeah,
my number one show of the month
is
takes this head on, takes this head effing on, dude. And I cannot wait to talk about this show. My jaw has been on the floor the entire time I've been watching it. Oh my God.
I already have a feeling. I think I know what it is because it's not even on my list. Okay, here's another interesting one. I don't know if this resonates with you because it's a remake of an 80s action movie, okay? They are redoing The Running Man, which was a Schwarzenegger
with
movie.
Glenn Powell, yeah.
You heard about this? Yeah. Well, he's growing on me. I like Glenn Powell for the modern day stars. Okay. And here's another thing that I didn't know because I was looking up. I didn't know that was actually based on a Stephen King book. I had no idea because I just assumed it was just a Arnold action movie. I didn't know that was a Stephen King novel, The Running Man. So that was kind of interesting.
Either.
Yeah.
But
so we're learning.
Stephen King, man, that guy's one of the most prolific writers in the history of our civilization. Like, he's written so much stuff.
I know.
I read his book about like all the stuff he went through with his addiction and how he was drinking to keep from writing, and once he stopped drinking he just could not stop writing. It was amazing, dude. His book on writing is so good. Y'all should read it.
Yeah, so anyway, I don't think there's going to be an Arnold cameo, which is a little bit of a bummer for me, but just like I like the story. If people don't know it, basically you're like contestants in this sort of futuristic, barbaric game, and you enter.
You got to tell people to watch the movie. You got to watch this movie. It's so good.
You got to watch the movie, but I'm just setting the stage. Basically, the contestants enter this game. They get put into this crazy world, and there's all these bad guys out there actually trying to kill them, and you kind of have to almost go through like levels of defeating this guy, defeating that guy, and of course, it's Arnold. So it's going to be hard to, you can never replace an Arnold, even if you are a Glenn Powell. But at least it's like, hey, let's see if we've been talking about this. They're doing Goonies. All these old things are now being redone. I hope they don't blow this because I did love it when I was a kid.
Oh, dude, it's a post-apocalyptic game show. Like, it's psychotic. Yes. But I think based on the amount of reality shows that we've talked about and all the garbage reality shows, I think if this were real, people would be tuning in. Like, that's what's so nuts to me.
For sure. Yeah.
About parody is that it's real. Like, I think people would watch this show if it were out on TV right now. Like look at Squid Game.
Right. Which we both didn't watch, but I think it's about that, right? Okay. Anyway, I wanted to bring it up, but it looks like you were dialed anyway. So just, just for the fans here. Okay. A couple more quick ones. Oh, this is a good one because you're not going to be happy with my thoughts here. So I finally rewatched Orange County. Okay.
Oh, 2003.
So listen. Yeah, so listen, I'm sure for nostalgic purposes, if I could go back to that time and when I was much younger and I was really stoned, I probably would have like enjoyed it more. Even though I don't even really remember loving it then, but I probably liked it more then. I felt I was quite disappointed, I gotta say. So like, listen, Jack Black was okay, but he was such like he was so out of it that he wasn't really the Jack Black that you love. I didn't think that Colin Hanks was the right fit for the role. He was too straight-laced to be a surfer guy, so I didn't love him in it either. I liked John Lithgow was maybe my favorite of anybody in it. He was good. Overall, the writing was pretty lame. It wasn't a great flick, but it would have been good if, like, see, you just remember it because you were that age at that time. So it meant a lot to you. It was like a high school movie probably for you. And so therefore it's like, but overall, if you watch it now in adult life, you're like, I gotta say the final bit to it is okay. But I definitely would say disappointing flick, not even in the 70s. If I'd give you a 68 on the ranking. Are you pissed about that?
I'm not pissed. I feel sorry for you that you're so jaded by life that you can't have a good laugh at like what is such a funny little takeaway from life in Southern California. Those characters are so funny, man. And Mike White as the English teacher in that movie is so funny.
But he's like in like one fucking scene. He's like in one scene. You want more from him. But I wanted to end on a positive note though, and then prove that I also like dumb Stone's earlier movie stuff. Okay, when I was researching this, I also stumbled upon the fact, and I didn't know this, that Mike White, he also wrote Dead Man on Campus, which is that's an all-time shameful Wally movie. Have you ever watched Dead Man on Campus?
I don't think so. Wait, no, I have, because that's when they realize that if like their roommate tries to kill himself, they get okay, I've seen it. Yep.
Mark
and
Paul
it's the dude from
Gosselaar.
Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, it's Mark Paul Gosselaar. There's some amazing characters, and that's equally. You might now watch that though, and then be able to say the same thing back to me, like, "Oh, it's kind of dumb," and blah blah blah. But dude, that's a clean flick. So I'll give you the Mike White. Maybe on one of these weekends when you just need like a silly comedy to reminisce, throw on Dead Man on Campus before our next sode, and then we can flip roles in that. Okay.
I remember the ending very vividly. I remember the ending.
You do remember? Okay.
Yeah.
So, damn you. So it's a big ending too. So
yeah.
Anyway.
So I remember that. I remember liking it, but to think that you would put that against Orange County,
way over, above
deeply
Orange
saddens
County.
Me. Just deeply saddens me.
It's not even like because Lachlan Monroe is like the sleaze frat boy friend and he's like a total psychopath, and I love the two main guys. Okay. Anyway. So I wanted to give you that because at least that's some Mike White I can get behind.
I appreciate you watching it.
Yes. All right. Let's two more quick things, and then we'll get into the top 5. Okay. This is something I am excited for, and it's a movie, which I know is rare. But here's the thing. I'm already pissed that it's a movie, but let me continue, and then I'll tell you why. Mountainhead. Have you heard about this? Have you seen previews for it yet? It's a new HBO film that comes out May 31st. Jason Schwartzman, Steve Carell. It's created by the Succession creator and written and directed. And it's like 4 billionaires go on this ski vacation in this resort. And it's so, and I'm sure it has the same level of Succession writing. They're all probably pieces of crap. They're probably all playing the Bezoses and the Elon Musks of the world, right? And they're all kind of like together. But then weird stuff starts happening, like, I think there's some big political thing going on. The president's calling them, and they're trying to like fix things from their ski chalet. And they're like, I don't know if I have time, So I don't like to watch the full preview, but that's what I saw. It looks really good. It looks very well done. It looks well shot. It looks funny. What do you feel about this?
I mean, that's the world we live in now, where the billionaires are the power brokers. So I want to see it. I hope it turns into this thing where ultimately we all just see what they're really like, which is why I like White Lotus so much, is because you get to see what these people are really like. So
Yeah.
I'm excited. I think it's the premise sounds great. A movie that I'm
So,
really
yeah.
excited for is Friendship with Tim Robinson and Paul Rudd. That looks
Oh,
absolutely
yeah. Do you know
so
when
wild.
that's out? Because I
I
got to
don't
put it
know
on
off
a
the top of my
list.
head. No.
Okay. All right. So yeah, that I saw that the other day too. So hopefully that's good. Okay. So wait, hold on. I meant to make the point. This should have been a series. Instantly, when I know that it's a movie, I'm instantly disappointed. I'm depressed. I'm devastated. It should have been a 4-part series, even just a mini series. I don't want to see a fucking movie like this. This is prime for being longer. In a movie, you're going to rush everything. There isn't going to be the correct character development. You're gonna love like the first 45 minutes, and then you're gonna look and be like, it's about to be over. What do you mean? And
I
then they're gonna
don't
have to
think that
wrap
these people are
everything
all that
up.
interesting.
No,
What's
it's gonna
interesting
be.
about?
What do you mean?
I don't know. I
Do you
mean,
not
what are
like
you gonna?
Succession? What are you talking
I
about?
did not like Succession personally.
Oh
I
my
did not
god,
like it.
bro.
I mean, I
That's
appreciate
sleaze,
that it's
dude.
good, but it didn't make
It's
me
some of the
feel
best
good watching
dialogue
it.
writing in TV show history. Succession.
Yes, but it didn't make me as a person feel good. Like Breaking Bad, right? Like it's great. That is absolutely an unbelievable show, but it makes you feel terrible bringing that into your life. You know what I
Breaking
mean?
Bad. No, Breaking Bad. You feel great every step of the way. I mean, maybe there's a couple brutal episodes here or there. You've never felt better than being on the edge of your seat in the bad world. All right.
Ugh.
So anyway, this is a great example. I remember I told you before. There's movies that come out and I see a preview and I'm like, oh my god, a new show, and then I realize, oh god, a film. Great. They're gonna fucking ruin it. Okay. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's perfect to be 2 hours and rushed and fucking ruined. Okay. Last little bit.
You're a cynic, dude. You're such a cynic.
Last
The
bit
cynic
here.
critic.
This one I don't care about, but I want to see maybe if you do. Shogun has just been renewed for a second season. I could barely get through 4 episodes. I was disappointed. Everybody was going buck wild. They won all these fucking Emmys. I mean, I guess it was like starting to get kind of good, but I didn't understand. Are you a Shogun guy? And are you excited about this news?
No, I didn't see it. I remember wanting to, but you know, I can't. I don't have the time to see everything. But some people that I worked with at Paramount, like a couple of the DPs that were on my marketing team, they raved about it. Absolutely raved about it. So, you know, I think the premise is cool.
Yeah. I just was disappointed because I had been, you know how I map things out way far ahead. I had been waiting for this show for like a year, and I thought
For
this was going to
Shogun.
be yeah. I thought this was going to be like a Japanese level Game of Thrones. I put it up on such a pedestal because I love the old Japanese warrior samurai era stuff. And I was like, oh my God. And I was so pumped on it. And then I watched it and I was kind of like, it was just underwhelming. It wasn't like, it seemed like very TV. It wasn't,
It should have
like,
been a
it
movie.
wasn't grand. I mean, I'll never really say that, but maybe it could have been a 3-hour movie. Fine. That's the one time I'll give it to you. Okay. So before we get to our top 5, let's take one more quick break from El Sponcero. That was my fake Spanish. Okay, and we're back to the show, baby. So listen, let's go all the way to the number 5 show. Now, here's the thing. I will preface this. There's a lot of repeats this month. So there's not a lot of new stuff, but there's some jockeying of the position. There's a couple new shows that I'm excited to talk about, but there was some, and this will happen on certain months. There's some repeat shows. You know, the rankings might change a little bit. The percentages might change a little bit, but this is just how, this is how the show works. So the number 5 show of April 2025 is same spot as it was last month. Mobland on Paramount Plus. Listen, it's 75% on tomato meter, 76 on the popcorn meter. I'm still giving it like a low 71. I don't love it, but it's just enough. I'm getting through the episodes though, and it's still Tom Hardy. It's Pierce Brosnan, even though we need to go back and talk about my accent issue. The duo is tough to beat, like I said before. And I would say that the writing and that there's a lot of tension being created. That's pretty impressive, especially the Tom Hardy stuff. When Tom Hardy's on the screen and he's fixing the issues and he's dealing with the problems, I like that, right? But for people that don't know and are just listening to, Wally Report for the first time, it's a somewhat compelling mob drama taking place in modern day UK. I'm not over the moon about it. It's a good time. Tom Hardy stealing the show. I just think there's some characters, there's some writing. It's almost like gratuitous violence where it's just, I don't know if it's smart, and it's just sort of like, it's the Guy Ritchie thing. Where like it's sometimes over the top and you're like, I like violence when it's perfectly written and it's needed. I don't want to just be like, oh yeah, have this fucking guy hanging upside down and tortured for just like no real reason, just because, oh, it's badass, mate. And you're just like, but overall, like, I like it. It's not like the Agency where could barely get through the fucking thing. I didn't watch the latest episode, but I'm 4 in. I like it. You're giving me faces like you wanted this higher. Are you disagreeing with me here?
I'm happy that it's on your list because you're redeeming yourself a little bit that it's even on your top 5. Look, Helen Mirren to me is just, she's
aggravating,
creepy.
but continue.
She's so creepy, dude. So yeah, I think Tom Hardy and Helen Mirren still this one. I'm into it. I think Guy Ritchie is so completely like pigeonholed, and people don't understand how good this dude really is. Like, I think Guy Ritchie is a top director in the industry without a doubt. And this show is sick. I think you should really watch it. I love seeing Tom Hardy be really like loving and vulnerable with his family, and then just become this like psychopath almost of his compartmentalization. There's so much layer to it, and you can see how Helen Mirren is just cooking in her mind. She's cooking just some schemes back there. I like it.
So you would give it higher than a 71 if you were giving the Bronco your own ratio? Or do you feel like you think this is like an 80s show? You think it's that high?
Well, see, it hasn't done anything that puts it in the category of like a Lotus or a Severance to me.
Right.
It's more of a generic like mob thriller. So I think the audience tomato meter is fine. I think your 71 is close enough to that. I'm okay with it. I really like it. I think it's good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to keep watching it. It's decent. I will say I love fucking Tom Hardy's car. Give me that Audi coupe.
RS6,
the
baby.
Audi,
RS6.
the wagon. Yeah, that's RS6 wagon. That is clean. So, and I will say I have gotten used to Pierce's accent. I still feel like they're fucking up the show with it, though. He should have just been a badass British guy. Let Helen Mirren be the evil Irish fucking wife. There's no reason to have him with this thick, old-timey fucking Irish accent. You're ruining Pierce Brosnan to me. I'm used to it now. I've accepted it, but he's been just sort of taken off the show because of it. When he's on screen, I'm not compelled as much as I normally am, because I'm like, okay, why is he doing this character? When they're in the UK, there's no reason to do it. It's not like an Irish show.
All right. I'm not even going to touch that. What I am excited for about this show is that they keep alluding to Pierce's character as being this like all out just master of death. You know what I mean? Like, right, they compare him to the Taliban, and they're like, no, you'll wish he was the Taliban when you see how he gets going. And I was like, oh my God. So what are we going to see by the end of this? What are we going to see Pierce Brosnan do? Because he's always this gentleman, and I have a feeling he's going to go crazy in these next episodes, and I'm excited.
Yeah, but they fucked us with the accent. I think.
Are you sure that's not just how he talks? Have you watched any interviews with him?
There's no way that he has that thick of an Irish accent, because we talked about it last time. He is from Ireland, but he moved to the UK when he was like 16. He's been James Bond. I mean, there's no way he normally talks like that. He's putting it on to sound like this old time Irish tough hooligan gangster, and it's just taking me out of it. It's such a key role that the fact that they did that, whoever made that decision. What's funny is I brought it up with my uncle, and he's like, I bet you Pierce made that decision. I'm like, no, why would Pierce go in unless Pierce wanted to challenge himself and say, hey, I want to do this crazy accent. But I'm like, it just doesn't. Anyway, all right, I'm going to let it go. Number 5. Okay. The number 4 show of April 2025. It was also in the same spot, I believe, last month. Celtics City on Max. 100% of the tomato meter. Still no popcorn meter. They do this really weird thing where with if sport docs are not getting ratings very quickly. It's happened the last couple months. I'm now giving it reluctantly. I'm giving it a 76. It's over classified hot now. It's that good. It would be in the 80s, but it's fucking about the Celtics, and it's so traumatizing. I just can't do it, which I know is unfair, but I can't rank it as high as Last Dance, which I'm still pissed at you, by the way, of your shameful Last Dance comments. We're going to come back to that later. But just for the audience, if you didn't catch last month's show, it's a pretty damn good sport doc on the history of the Boston Celtics. It's a 9-part doc. That's my type of length, baby. Fuck this short shit. 9 hours of action. That's every sport doc should be like this. The Last Dance was 8. Celtic City's 9. We need a Lakers doc that now goes Lakers Town that goes fucking 10 episodes. Anyway, great interviews from Celtic legends. I like Garnett in it. I even like Pierce in it, which I hate to say because usually I hate Pierce. Bob Cousy, the really cool interviews with Bob Cousy. A lot of greats are in it. Bill Simmons is the executive producer from the Ringer podcast. Everybody knows Bill Simmons in the sports world. It's not The Last Dance, but man, it was made to be in that air, to that level of top sport docs of all time. I would say at this point, this is one of the better sport docs of the last 5 to 10 years. It's that fucking good. As a Laker fan, it is very traumatizing. When I went through, oh my God, when I rewatched the episodes and I had to relive 2008, it brought up so many horrible memories because I forgot about the fucking bullshit Pierce. Do you remember that series? Pierce goes out with the knee injury and you think he's out. They carry him out and then he comes back in and he's fine. And I was like livid, and then we lose the game. And then in game 4, we're down 2-1. I almost had forgot this. The Lakers went up 24 points in the finals and blow the game. Do you remember? Were not watching that series? So anyway, that was very traumatizing, but we did get revenge on them in 2010. And actually, I was at the Apple store. Were you at Apple yet in 2010? You were, right?
Yeah.
Did you all go to Barney's with us to watch the Lakers clinch? A bunch of us were there watching that. And then, of course, I was living with Danny at the time when the Lakers beat the Celtics, and I got to go home and be like, listen, baby, Lakers, baby. But anyway, I know I'm going on my tangents here. I know you're trying to say you're not going to watch it because you're a Barney and you've been saying unjust stuff about The Last Dance. But I'm telling you, this is a great watch, man. This is a great show. It's for all sport fans. You got to put it on your list. It's unbelievably well done. What do you say for yourself?
I believe you. Look how animated you are about it. I bet it's great. I mean, if it's on, if somebody's watching it, I'll sit down and watch it. I'm probably not going to turn it on myself because there's so many other shows that I would rather watch than something about the Boston Celtics, which I have no connection to. That's just my brutal honesty. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm just saying it's not in my world, but I bet it's great. I totally believe you.
Yeah, I'm just such a sports Barney that I have to, if it's a great sport doc, I have to watch it. Like, I'm not going to miss any good sport doc. You need to make sure that it's a team that you like, or if it's content that you want to watch, right? If it's a great sport doc that's out there, I'm going to have to get through it. That's just my makeup, you know?
No, that's
okay.
Cool.
I'll do my number 3, and then I'll toss it over to some Bronco shows because we forgot to do your proper countdown last time. But I have a feeling this is going to probably be on your list somewhere too. Number 3 show of April 2025, Your Friends and Neighbors. 81% on the tomato meter, 79 on the popcorn. I'm going to give it a 77 right now. It's still classified hot, but it's not in the 80s. It's, for people that don't know, it's an impressive new drama starring John Hamm, Amanda Peet, Olivia Munn on Apple TV Plus. Okay, so here's the thing. You love John Hamm at all times, right? I mean, he's so likable. He is a successful hedge fund manager turned criminal. So how do you not like that setup right away, right? So I just think the world that they put us in, I love the John Hamm internal dialogue. It almost sounds like you're in a fucking Mercedes commercial, But, you know,
Mhm.
as he's talking, I feel like I'm in a commercial now because he narrates so many damn commercials. It started off amazingly well, and then I thought dipped a little bit. I still like it. I watched part of the most recent episode last night. But I think with the Lotus ending, we needed something like this, a new good show. And I love it's that Friday night Apple TV Plus schedule. And I know you like it too because I recommended it to you. So overall, it's a great time. You like you said, you feel good when you're watching it. I like the crime shit. I love the stuff with his new partner in crime. I don't like every actor and every character, and I don't agree with all the writing. Like, there's no way that Amanda Peet is cheating on John Hamm with a famous basketball player. But anyway, I digress. Other than that, I like the show. What do you say here, baby?
I'm so conflicted on this show. This is my wife's favorite show of the year for sure. She's
Wow.
all in. She loves it. Um, I think Amanda Peet is so good, so I like watching her. John Hamm is John Hamm, you know. I think we know what
He's
we're
the
gonna get
cleanest, baby.
when he
He's
when
the
he comes on
cleanest.
screen. He's not, to me, like watching Tom Hardy in Mobland. Like there's a very different thing, but it's good. They did something that absolutely makes me want to scream, which is where like halfway through a series they introduce a character and then do like, I don't know, his partner in crime. That whole thing is like,
No, that's just, bro. What do
I
you
don't
mean? You
like it
needed
at
her.
all.
No,
I
he
get
needed
it.
a partner. It was too stressed when he's by himself. I like the partner in crime. And I liked her because I'm like, was over Amanda Peet and stuff. I'm like, enough of that. I want to just go back to John Hamm.
I
Continue.
get it, and I don't want to spoil it, but I like also the world that she comes from and how she has an inside scoop. I like that they
Yeah.
did that. So I like that, but generally when they introduce a pivotal character midway through the season, it annoys the shit out of me because you're trying to like write in stuff. I think Severance did a lot of this sort of expanding the universe instead of narrowing into like one singular big ending. So we'll see how it ends. But yeah, it's good. I would definitely put Mobland as more of my personal over. I would switch Mobland and Your Friends and Neighbors personally for me.
Yeah, I can't do that. I mean, they're close, but yeah, Mobland is much lower because it's a little too immature. I mean, I guess you could say that about Your Friends and Neighbors too. It's just more like, oh, tough guy, fucking shooting, hanging people up, badass mob stuff, which I think when I was
I don't think
younger,
it's
it
that at
resonated
all.
more. It's a little too like gratuitous violence and torturing guys and it's like stabbing them 16 times, mate. And you're just like, all right. I mean, where
You know
Your Friends
what?
and Neighbors, it's just a better feeling. I'm like
Yeah,
more
but
content and I'm enjoying myself.
if they weren't rich, we wouldn't care. You know what I mean? Like we wouldn't care. There's no depth to it in my opinion. Like we're trying to just, it doesn't seem as
Yeah.
deep to me, but I like it. I'm watching it. It's Friday. I'm excited to watch it. I know Alice is going to be pumped, so let's see where it goes.
Yes.
I'll keep my fingers crossed that it's a great show.
So 2 comments I want to make on your comment. I actually like when they spice up a show certain way through with a new dynamic character that can come in because sometimes after 4 or 5 episodes the original magic can get stale and you almost need to up the ante sometimes with the new character coming in. So I want to disagree with you on that. The other thing I got to say is I can't agree with you on that. You'd rather watch Tom Hardy than the John Hamm. Right now, when John Hamm's on screen, I'm much happier. I like the Tom Hardy right now, but I'm not as content when John Hamm's on the screen. I gotta say, this Hamm is slightly ranked above this Hardy. I gotta say, so I gotta go toe to toe with you on that.
All right.
That's clean though.
Right.
That's clean. All right. So final commercial break of the episode that will get real crazy with the Bronco top 2, top 3, whatever you got here. So let's take a break from our sponsors. Okay, so I know people are dying for the top 2 shows of the month, and you're probably wondering what the hell they could be because we've already talked about Mobland, we've already talked about Your Friends and Neighbors. We did address one other thing, but I wanted to let you. Did you have just like a top 2? You want to at least give one now and then one later? What did you want to unveil here?
Well, I'm really curious. I want to go after you because I'm really curious what your number 1 is.
But why don't we do this? You give me one here. I'll give you my number 2. You do another, and then I end with my big hitter.
All right, that's fine. Okay, so
yeah.
The ending, I mean, I can't say enough about how creative and how well done White Lotus was. I know a lot of people, it wasn't season one, you know, that set them off, but this thing was so well done. And the ending was so good. The ending was so good. They took some big swings. And I mean, I'm going to open up to you guys. That like dinner table scene with the three women, I got emotional, man. I thought that was so real because so many times I just feel so, even though, you know, we compare ourselves to other people so much in this day and age, right? Like we have friends that are doing so many amazing things. And, you know, sometimes you feel like you're not keeping up with people. And to just feel someone say like, you know what, I'm just happy to be here. I think her words were like, I'm happy to be at the table. That really was cool. And man, it was so character driven. I love it. I can't say enough. I know you're hating on it, so I brought my Walton Goggins goggle glasses hater blockers for you, Ari. I brought these just for you, baby, because
are
all
those
your
actually
White Lotus
the Goggins?
hate, yeah, all your White Lotus hate just gets blocked by these Goggins goggle glasses, baby.
So, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. I haven't said where White Lotus is yet on my list, and you know that it did go into April.
It better be one,
yet, but at least it's not 3 through 5. It had moved down to 3 last month, if you remember. Remember, I docked it all the way in the 3rd position, and at least like I haven't addressed it yet. So okay, but what are you saying ready, though? That's clean. I actually want those are just as fuck. But wait, hold on. Are you saying that's your number 2 show of the month, or that's your number 1 show of the month?
That's my number 2 show of the month because it's a new month. Even though I can't say enough good things about it, it's a new month, and something came out this month that has completely floored me. Season 1 was so wild that I thought going into season 2, I would be less shocked with season 2. But if you guys have not watched the rehearsal on Max, holy cow. Nathan Fielder is doing something no one else is doing. He's taking this to a whole new level. It's unreal that HBO Discovery gave him a budget to do what he's doing. Like, watch it. It's shocking. Oh my God, it's amazing.
So you're saying, so I have to put this on the list. Like, I'm going to like it. I'm not going to come complaining via text later.
Of course you're going to complain. Of course you're going to complain.
Because I saw a preview and I saw a preview and it looked like he was testing what it looks like when you're doing a crash, so you get ready for a crash or something. And I was like, do I care about that? Was that what I want to watch? Am I not getting that right? It's rehearsing bad things that can happen to you. Is that what the show is about? At least give me that. Like, what is, without spoiling, like, what is the show? What is the theme of the show? Like, what is it about?
He's creating incredibly complex role-playing scenarios. That's what the rehearsal is this incredibly complex role-playing. And rehearsing for this thing that you're trying to do, right? That you're afraid to do or whatever. And season 1 was insane, was absolutely insane. Season 2 took it in a whole other direction. And there's this amazing through line of him understanding that he's a comedian and he's a clown and no one's going to take him seriously because he's a clown. Watch this show. It is so good.
Okay,
it is so
all
good.
Right. I'll put it on the list. But you know what I was just thinking? I got distracted because I just noticed you never put up the Tommy Boy poster. You sleazed me.
I know, dude.
Because
I don't have a lot of depth.
Wall, but yeah, you got to get something.
Maybe I'll get it. I mean, yeah. Tommy Boy, my favorite movie of all time. It's the best.
That's clean that you said that. All right, so now we know you're 2 and you're 1. Okay, I think you're going to be happy with what I've done for you here, Bronco. Okay, this was tough. I mulled this over a long time. The number 2 show of April 2025, Last of Us Season 2 on HBO Max. You know what I've decided? Fuck's just saying Max. That's so stupid. It should never have been Max. It's fucking HBO. Enough of this. Oh, it's Max. Do you have the Max app? It's like, it's fucking HBO Max. Anyway, Last of Us Season 2 on HBO Max. 95% on the tomato meter. But get this. And this will be my commentary from earlier. 49% on the audience score of the popcorn meter because they, like what I said earlier, are fucking pissed because we got Game of Thrones. We got Thrones. Okay?
That's
I'm
a
going to give it
huge discrepancy.
because they're rioting against what happened to a character. I'm giving too much away right now. It's anger versus is the show great or not. They are so pissed. It was basically like a red wedding occurred is all I'm going to say. Now, I am going to give it a 78. So it's above classified hot. It's not in the, it was going to be in the 80s. Last season was in the 80s, but they fucked me. No one screws me like that, like on the Penguin, like on Lotus, and like on Last of Us without getting docked, baby. No one screws Wally and gets away with it, okay? Without getting hit somehow. So, Bella Ramsey, Pedro Pascal, headline this spectacular show. Now, I know we talked about it last time. It is a zombie show, and yes, it's the end of the world, which I normally hate. It's usually if I hear those buzzwords, I'm so far out, okay? I'm usually done, and I didn't watch it for years. But finally, I don't remember how, I kept seeing it up on like the greatest show ever lists, and I kept seeing it on Hot Tomato score lists, and I was like, So I finally watched it. Season 1 is amazing. It's unbelievable because it's like, yes, there's some zombie stuff. And yes, it's end of the world shit, but it's more about what the characters do and the relationships that they have outside of that. Living in this psycho current situation of the world, but it's the relationship, it's the acting, it's the writing, the cinematography. And the fact that it's from a video game and it's this well done, I'm telling you that you would love this show. Because listen, just pretend that the zombies, like you watch Game of Thrones at least, right?
No.
Oh my God, you're not even a Thrones guy?
No.
What are you talking about? So you don't even watch fantasy?
Dude, I remember you
it was
back
fantasy?
in the day. You were reading the books. I get it. That's not me. I wasn't in that world, all right?
Okay, well, I was going to try to give you an analogy. If you can deal with the White Walkers, you can deal with a couple zombies, right? So anyway, just pretend they're monsters.
I
yes,
understand
they're lurking, they're around. But if you could just get past that, it's amazing. Okay, so it enters season 2. We've been waiting like 2 years for this. Superb acting, writing, cinematography is mind-blowing. They ranked episode 2. Episode 1 was only 3 have been out, and I'm dying for the 4th. The second episode was so amazing. They were saying it almost getting rankings of that was Game of Thrones level. And then they fucked us. And I mean, I don't even know what to say because you almost don't even want to continue. You're so angry. But
how
now
can you care so much? How can you care so much about something? Like, you didn't even play the video game. How can you care so much?
Because it's a character that's so important to the show. See, I'm giving too much away now by even saying this, but it's like there's certain, okay, listen, you watch shows because of particular characters and actors, right? And so in episode 2, listen, if it had been at the end of the season and they did this big bullshit thing, fine, I still would have been pissed. But bro, we just waited 2 years for the fucking show to come out. You let us get to the second episode, and then you drop this bomb. And it's like, now you're kind of like, you're left with, wow, now I'm left with these characters. So I'm pissed. Yes, it's true to the video game. Fuck the video game. Fuck all the people that ruined the show. But I'm still somehow watching it. It would have been my number 1 show. If this didn't happen, I would have shamed you, and this would have been my number 1 show. But then this happened, so I had to drop it. But still, the number 1 show that I'm waiting for the most next is still this, even after the fiasco. So I think you should throw it on a list.
I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out.
You might
I'm gonna
have
check
to just get through 2 to 3 because the acting and just the world and the tone is so high level that you're gonna be like, oh wait. Like I was by 3 episodes, I was like, oh wait, this is just what the fuck was I doing all these years?
All right, I believe you, man.
Any other thoughts there?
No, I think you have taste. I'm gonna watch it. You've given me enough reason to watch it. I mean, I know it's gonna be heavy, but I'm very curious to see what's got you so worked up. So I'm gonna throw it on.
Oh my god, bro!
Is it 10 episode first season? Do you know off the top of your head?
I can't remember if it was either 8 or 10. It's probably 8 because it was HBO. Okay. And I'm kind of pissed that I did this, but I thought overall So, the number one show of April 2025, The White Lotus, season 3 on HBO
Yes.
Max.
Yes.
Only because Severance is gone and only because Last of Us screwed us, but 85% on the tomato meter. But here's the thing, popcorn meter starting to side with me a little bit. 77 on the popcorn meter. That dipped a little bit. I'm giving it a 78. I would never put this in the 80s because I'm still going to dock White for giving us the shame writing. It's not as clean as season 1. It never will be, it seems to me, right? But I liked how they ended it. I didn't hate the ending. Your catchphrase on this show is endings are hard. It was really the last episode that we were waiting for in April. I thought it was pretty decent. I thought that they did my boy Goggins dirty, though, too dirty, because too many things with the dad storyline, the girlfriend. I was like, dude, just like that was, they almost laid it on too thick there with that. But the rest of the endings of the storylines, of the groupings, even with the dad, with the family, I'm like, all right, that was smart. I can live with that. I even like with my boy Greg and the payoff. I like that storyline. You know, I'm a big Greg guy, obviously, so I liked how that ended. So, like, fine. I could live with it. Overall, it was a high-quality show. The cinematography, we talked about
It was incredible.
The acting's really good. Patrick Schwarzenegger, my new top kid.
Oh, that's cool. The second unit, all the like cutaways, all the landscape shots, all the slow motion water that your brother was talking about, the editing. I mean, you and I talked about how wild it is to have a continuous shot series or a continuous shot episode. Watch that last episode of White Lotus and you get why there's editing. The editing was so important and conveyed such an extra emphasis to what was happening, and it was so good. I'm happy it's your number one. I'm happy you let it happen. It wasn't comfortable, but you let it happen, and I'm proud of you.
Yeah, because, well, I guess it deserved 1 month. I mean, it just got lucky because it went into April. It would have lost, and it was about to lose, but then Last of Us screwed us. And I thought Your Friends and Neighbors, it was great the first couple, then it dipped a little bit. I couldn't give that the same, high level of ranking overall. The quality of White Lotus is probably higher, where if Your Friends and Neighbors can just be sort of a little bit silly here or there and just about a bunch of, rich people drinking and stealing things. So I thought this was okay. I'm not that pumped on it. And I got to say, though, that I'm now even less excited about the next season. I heard rumors that it's going to be some vegan resort thing, which will be funny because of all the jokes and, around the pretentious fucking vegan people and everything they eat and all this stuff. But I'm like, each year, and now I'm less excited about the next Lotus because I'm like, I mean, even last time I still was really excited about season 3, and I don't know if I'm leaving it that way, but it ended up being a number one show. And did you see how HBO, who had a slow start to the year, White Lotus was on here, Last of Us was on here, Celtic City, 3 of the 5 show were HBO. Okay.
Yeah, and I think we got to give Hacks an honorable mention. I love this show. I think Hacks is so good. It's funny, dude. You talk about like off-brand comedy. They're towing the line on a lot of these jokes that, is exactly what you're talking about. These chicks are crude and they're funny. And the writing is great. They make you care about the characters. It has everything you would want in a half-hour comedy.
I'm still in season 3. I just can't I try to put it on, then they annoy me too much. The side characters, I don't think the writing's good with all the other friends. It's too modern day comedy nonsense.
All right.
It's like the same shrinking people got together with the Hacks people and they're like, let's write really dumb things that 12-year-olds like anyway. But I like it. It's okay. But I can't get to season 3 right now. Every time I put it on, 20 minutes later, I have to shut it off. So I haven't even been able to get to the new season. So it couldn't even then be on my countdown. Okay. Yearly count. Netflix still reigning at top 5 shows for the year. HBO Max now at 3. Apple TV Plus at 2, Showtime at 2, Disney Plus at 1, Paramount Plus at 1, Hulu, Prime, and Peacock haven't even been on the board. Okay, May preview. I'm actually not like how we had an amazing April preview. I don't really have a star-studded May preview, but new stuff might pop up that we don't know, that could be impressive here. So here's a couple things. The 4 Seasons, it's like a new comedy that just came out on Netflix. on May 1st with Steve Carell. I think Tina Fey created it, but it looks like, I already checked the tomatoes. It's not outstanding tomatoes. Here's the thing, and I'm going to throw this back on you again. If they blow a Steve Carell starring show, and it's almost like if you have a White Lotus hangover, it's a bunch of families go to a Four Seasons, and I think it's more of a romantic comedy, but I'm sure there's going to be all this kind of same, crazy families and different shit going on. So it's a good fill in for the White Lotus hole that we have in our hearts right now. But my point to you is, if they blow a Tina Fey show, it just shows that comedy is shame. So I'm very, again, cautiously, I don't even think it's going to be good, but I put it on the list for the other Barneys in the world. Any interest there?
Probably not. Probably not.
Okay.
I didn't watch 30 Rock. I like Mean Girls. Tina Fey wrote Mean Girls. I thought Mean Girls was good. Steve Carell, he's a dynamic actor. So, I'm very excited to see what he does, but I'm not waiting for it.
Okay, I thought that would be a tailor-made for Bronco type show. Okay, May 8th, Poker Face Season 2. Now listen, on Peacock, starring Natasha Lyonne. I loved the first 4 episodes, and then I couldn't even finish Season 1. So I'm not that jacked. I was like, dude, it's the same fucking thing. Like, just because she knows that people are lying, how is she also the best detective on earth? I'm just like, it was kind of like, okay. Have you ever watched Poker Face? It was a very interesting setup.
Yeah, same with you. I got a couple episodes in. I liked her character for the first few episodes. I thought the world they created was cool. And then I just had something else that I liked better. Yeah.
Exactly. DNF. So I'm not... Yeah, it was a DNF. It was a total DNF. Now, this is another one I really had to reach here because I didn't have that. Usually I have big ones that are saved that I've been counting down the months. They're just not landing in May. They're more in June and July. This new one that I looked up called Duster, a promising show. It's on Max, which I like, and it's based in the 70s. He's a getaway driver. There's FBI. There's crime family. So I'm like, all right, I like all those themes. That's the ingredients we normally like, but I don't know. It's a wild card, so I just threw it on here as a potential interest for the fans. And then, of course, I always have one sport thing that I have to add in here. May 22nd, Earnhardt, baby, racing. There's a new Earnhardt doc on Prime. It's a 4-part series, so you were allowed to count it. And even though I'm not a NASCAR guy, I couldn't care less. Any sport doc will do. And I want to hear the stories because I love old 80s redneck guys. So I'm probably going to dig this. And then it goes into his son too, I think, somewhat. So I think that's cool. Are you a NASCAR Barney? Do you care about this at all?
Dude, I love cars. I love racing. Days of Thunder, again, Tony Scott, Tom Cruise.
I'll give you that one.
Dang, dude. Days of Thunder is one of my top movies. Rubbin' is racing. So I'm down. I'm down to check this out.
Okay, sick. So that was the May preview. That was our show, man. How are you feeling here? Are you doing good? Was that a clean show?
I like it. Did you watch the new Andor? You're a Star Wars huss.
I couldn't get through the first episode. I'm really disappointed right now. It's on the list. It's gonna go back. I really tried. I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's like, I feel like all the recent Star Wars shows are just very underwhelming. What, you blasted through all the sods already?
No. I'm going to Disneyland on Monday. I'm gonna go ride of the Rise of the Resistance again. Cause damn, so it's gonna get me pumped up to watch Andor. I'm gonna go to Disneyland. I'm gonna come home. I'm gonna blast through Andor. See how it goes.
Yeah, I was sort of disappointed, but maybe it gets better in episode 2. So, with that, thank you for listening to the Wally Report, the world's hottest podcast. Please subscribe, follow, comment, like, share, and blast. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on YouTube. We're blasting hard on the talk, and we're heavy on the gram at the Wally Report. I really need those damn glasses now. That's at the Wally Report. We've actually been posting amazing video clips from our episodes on our social channels and important new show launch information, so don't miss out. And please make sure to comment on Spotify, comment on Instagram, and on YouTube. YouTube's been blowing up now. We love the comments and interactions with the fans. So with that, we're going to jam out to our tune.